By 1917, Bhimrao Ambedkar held an academic pedigree that almost no one in his home country could match. He had earned advanced degrees in economics and sociology from two of the world's most elite institutions, Columbia University in New York and the London School of Economics. For years, he lived and researched in cosmopolitan centers where professional capability outweighed social standing. In the anonymous rush of these global cities, he lived far beyond the rigid hierarchies that defined his childhood. This global prestige vanished the moment he returned to India to serve in the Baroda civil service. In his new office, subordinates refused to hand him files or papers directly. Instead, peons threw documents onto his desk from a distance to avoid contact with him, and he was strictly denied access to the common drinking water. The exclusion soon became a physical threat. When he attempted to stay at a Parsi inn by concealing his background, an angry mob armed with sticks surrounded the building. He was forced to abandon his lodging and flee the area. The highest academic credentials on the planet offered no protection against a system that viewed his presence as a pollutant. Individual excellence could not bypass the barrier of caste. The weight of this exclusion had been a constant since his earliest days in school. He was forced to sit on a separate gunny sack in the corner of the classroom, physically segregated from his peers and barred from touching the communal water vessel. This status was reinforced during a defining trip to Gurgaon. Despite being well-dressed and carrying money for fare, young Bhim and his brother were stranded at the station. A local bullock cart driver refused to transport them the moment he realized they were Mahars, a caste considered untouchable. This created a deep dissonance for the young boy. He was clean, neat, and capable of paying the fare, yet he was told his mere presence would somehow pollute a wooden cart. These childhood encounters stripped away any pretense that untouchability was based on reason. The rules of caste operated in total defiance of cleanliness, wealth, or character, proving themselves to be arbitrary and deeply irrational. Overcoming that system required unyielding discipline. After moving to Mumbai, his family lived in a poverty-stricken area, cramped into a single, noisy room where privacy was impossible. To find the silence necessary for study, his father, Ramji, would wake him at 2 o'clock in the morning. These early hours provided the only window of quiet in an otherwise chaotic environment. This dedication drew the attention of a high-caste teacher, Krishnaji Keliskar, who recognized the boy's potential. Keliskar became a rare institutional ally, eventually changing Bhim's surname in the school registry to Ambedkar to help him navigate the system. That scholarship from the Maharaja of Baroda eventually became his exit strategy. It provided the financial bridge to study abroad, allowing him to amass a wealth of global knowledge. But back in Mumbai, even a doctorate couldn't save his private consulting business. As soon as clients learned of his caste, they withdrew. He realized that the societal framework would have to be dismantled before his hard-earned knowledge could truly be put to work. Ambedkar made a strategic pivot. He stopped trying to fit into a rigged system and decided instead to organize the Dalit community, becoming a central figure in their resistance. He moved into mass communication, launching the Marathi newspaper Muknayak, or Leader of the Mute. This platform allowed him to broadcast the daily realities of the marginalized to a national audience. In 1924, he founded the Bahishkrit Hitakarni Sabha to move beyond advocacy and into direct community building. He used the organization to establish hostels, schools, and libraries, creating a parallel infrastructure for those the state had abandoned. He then leveraged his legal and economic expertise to challenge the British administration directly. He presented evidence before colonial commissions and led the Mahad Satyagraha, asserting the right of all citizens to use public water sources. As independent India's first law minister, Ambedkar led the drafting of the country's constitution. He spent years debating and refining its articles, specifically coding civil liberties and the abolition of untouchability into the nation's supreme legal framework. His life redefined education as a collective asset rather than a personal one. He transformed academic brilliance into a strategic leverage point, using it to dismantle the very system that had tried to bar him from the classroom.